I wanted to ask you, um, when I first came here the first day, you had said, and you continue, you say that when I use the word God, it is interchangeable with being, with consciousness. And you use, however, I find the word God a lot.
Yes.
And in Advaita, when you say that the road is narrow and it can be me or God, when I hear that, it takes me a little while because I feel that that is two. It is God is someone else, and then I sat with this and I felt that I said to myself, I think maybe Guruji is choosing the word God because in giving that space and respect to that power, there would be humility. But then I wasn't sure, and I wanted to ask you.
Yes, so it's right that we use these terms synonymously in Satsang: God, being, consciousness, I amness. God said, I am that I am. So this I am being, consciousness itself is God. Now, it's worth exploring what may seem, the term I am, seem more comfortable or not pushing buttons, because 3 letters, I am, God, 3 letters. So we may say, like, the short answer could be, why don't I just say consciousness? Because God, this short and sweet. But there's more to it, I feel, because it is having this sort of impact on the Sangha somewhere. And those who are hearing the word God, yes, and also those who had an uncomfortable relationship with the word growing up because they were being forced to go to church or forced to go to temples, and they were fed all the wrong ideas about God. So it's pushing some of those buttons. So I feel like God is using this mouth to use the word God often to bring a lot of this stuff out, and it can be seen through and discarded, can be let go of. It's just so much of a privilege to be able to invoke, is it, the pure highest being through a simple word, is it? And if there's anything to be thankful for in human birth, probably this is one of those things, is it? That I can just say God, and God's presence is apparent. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to communicate the honor in that, the privilege that we have in that. Because the word God has been so jaded. So there's a lot of skepticism, there's a lot of baggage, there's a lot of conditioning around the word God. And somewhere the mind says, maybe easier to just say I am, or being, or consciousness. but there's something there. See, I feel like there's something there in that simple three-letter word. And if it pushes some buttons, it's now time to see those buttons and to let them go. Instead of saying, no, it's better for me if I did not hear the word God so much or have to. But are we going to then be stuck in these mental prisons? You see? I feel like it's time to just let them all out, be free of them. The three-letter words are causing a lot of trouble. God, and the second one, three-letter word that's causing even much more trouble is sin. What do you say? Huh? Ego is, yes, of course, that is known trouble. But sin is another. I haven't found, have I? I don't feel like I found a better word for God than God. Yeah, authentically is feeling that, like being or consciousness. Of course, I use them synonymously, but I just feel like a certain resonance or a certain something. Like I feel also that in a way the word God counteracts our mind's trick to make it like a force of nature type thing, like electricity. When we say being or consciousness, we just feel like, oh, electricity, magnetism, gravity, atmosphere. So when I go inside myself, there's an atmosphere, and if I go deeper into that, there's stratosphere, there's whatever, and then when I go really deep, then there's just space. You see, so we would love for it to be like an exploration in that way, like almost scientific and things like that. But reality is much more amazing and absurd than that. There's a living presence. There's a living presence, a being. You see, that is unnerving to many of us. And we sort of maybe want to make a distance between ourselves and that. Like, there's a being, like there's a level of the atmosphere, and you go deeper beyond that, and there's awareness, just like there's space. You see, so we come to it like Columbus, like I was saying the other day. We come to the discovery of that, come to the discovery of this, and then we get an award. The Queen gives us a medal saying, "Well done, Columbus. You went looking for India, but you found America," or whatever. So, but it's not like that. You're coming to the discovery of a living being, the only living being, an intelligent, the only true intelligence is an actual being, which is the one being. It's not just a abstraction. Most our labels are just abstractions. They just say the universe. You see, because it's a convenient word. Or we say the world. It's a convenient word. When we say the body, it's a convenient word to say because it'll be too tiring to say my hands, torso, feet, everything went into the room. The way that my body went into the room, or my body was not well. You see, so these are abstractions to make it convenient for us. You see? But God is not an abstraction of, okay, now when you go there, then you will see this on the left and that on the right, and it's very complicated for us to assimilate. So let's just call that God. It's not an abstraction that way. There's a living presence. And the sages have told us this, but we've somehow never met this in this way. You see? They've told us it's a living presence. pure being itself, you see, that makes all life unfold. But I don't know whether it sounds unnerving, but for me it sounds very beautiful that God's presence is here. And God is not just some gravity or electricity or like a cloud sitting there. Yeah, God is there, but when we go beyond God, no, then we come to the absolute. And I'm guilty of this. Maybe initially when I started sharing, but it's astounding. So, how can we find a way to get this point across? If I told you wake up tomorrow morning and Papaji's presence will be within you, all of you have got lucky today, and Papaji is telling me in my heart that all of you who have come to Satsang, when you wake up tomorrow morning, Papaji's presence will be within you. No? So if I hadn't said all that context, you'd be like, that's very good news. Presence. I'll wake up with Papaji's presence. See? Guruji's presence. But I'm telling you that God's presence is there, of which all of us expressions are just instruments, higher than anything that we can fathom. That is the one that wakes up within yourself. But because the word is so jaded, or the mind always comes in and says, yeah, maybe, so what? Can I live it? Some nonsense like that. You see? Puts like a, what are they called? Blinders. And we're not able to meet this fact that the living presence of the highest being lives within ourselves. Whereas if I told you that, so if some of you love science, so if I told you tomorrow when you wake up, Einstein's presence will be with you. You see, some of you may love sports, so I say, okay, Messi's presence or Federer's presence will be in you. You see, I feel like sometimes I just feel like there'll be much more excitement if I was saying these things. You see, much more like, wow, yes, Federer will be inside me. Messi, Ronaldo will be inside me. You see? Are you serious, Father? You see? Yeah, we won the lottery, but I'm telling you, God is where all this comes from. That one lives within you, that one wakes up within you. How can we be more blessed? I'm speaking fully literally.